John Lusk here of Lusk Archery Adventures. Serious testing, successful hunting. Today I'm going to be testing some heads made by RAD Archery. It stands for Radical Archery Design. Okay, pretty cool name. I'd never heard of them until recently, and a number of viewers gave me the suggestion to look them up and test them out. Thank you for that. And the thing that really impresses me about them is their modularity. They have a lot of different heads that are pretty much interchangeable. And they have 4-blade heads, they have 3-blade heads, they have different diameter heads, different weight heads, and the blades can be interchanged in basically five different models of broadheads that make like a ton of different combinations based on your bow and arrow setup and what animal you're pursuing. So today I'm going to be testing the Madman. Okay, another cool name, the RAD Madman. And this is their 4-blade broadhead. I'm going to be testing the low profile solid one, the non-vented that has a 1-inch cut, as well as the high profile vented one that has a 1 3/16 inch cut. So let's zoom on in here. I'll go through some of the design features and specifications, and then we're going to put these heads to the test. First up here is the LPS. That stands for low profile solid. It's a 4-blade, 1-inch cutting diameter, and the blades are not vented, they're solid. That's where they get the low profile solid LPS name. The blades are 0.030 inches thick, and that's how all of their blades are. And again, they're interchangeable in all the different ferrules. The tip and the blades are both stainless steel. And you notice that the tip here has this scallop in the end of it, as well as you notice a scallop in the ferrule. That's a double scallop design, they call it, to aid in penetration. We'll see how that works out. And the ferrule itself is made out of 2024 aluminum. You see the red part of the ferrule there. They experimented with 7075, which is much stronger, but they found that to be a bit too brittle in hard impacts. So they went with the 2024. So it'll be really interesting to see how this head tests out. Now here's the Madman HPV. That stands for high profile vented. It's 4 blades, and it's got a cutting diameter of 1 3/16 inches. So that's going to make a really nice hole. Everything else is the same tip, same thickness of blades, same ferrule. So eager to see how this head tests out as well. And if you're not familiar with all the tests that I'm doing in 2021, I have an explanation of all these different tests in the description below this video. RAD Archery out-of-the-box sharpness. 350. The Madman LPS penetrated 8 1/8 inches, and the HPV penetrated 7 7/8 inches. This is the RAD after penetration test 1. 350. The LPS penetrated through 64 layers. The HPV penetrated through 63 layers. Here you can see a good look at the wound channel created by the LPS. And you see those are nice holes, just a 1-inch cutting diameter, but they make pretty good holes there. They're not total square holes like maybe you'd see in the tooth of the arrow, but they're better than others I've seen, other 4 blades. They're a little bit more than just a hole with 4 slits. Here are the holes created by the HPV. And as you can see, the ferrule size is the same. So they're not really as much of a square hole as were the LPS. And yet the blades extend quite a bit further out in each direction. So that's going to make a really nice wound. And for comparison's sake, here you can see both of the wound channels, the holes created by these two different heads. You see the LPS in the upper right and the HPV in the lower left. Here's the Madman LPS. And as you can see, it spins extremely well. The blades, you can't even tell they've been shot, which is really impressive to go through steel plate like that and not show any signs of wear, especially when they're 0.030 inches thick. They're not that thick, but obviously extremely durable. Now, the tip experienced a little bit of a bend even on the first shot, and then it got a little bit blunter with every shot. I mean, overall, it's still okay after 5 shots, but compared to how it was in the beginning, it's got blunted quite a bit there, as you can see. Still spins perfectly well. Here's the Madman HPV. It too spins extremely well. Again, the blades, just like in the other one, they're in pristine condition. I mean, no nicks at all. Barely even any cosmetic show. And the tip, the same thing happened. Obviously, it's the same tip, but it got blunted in exactly the same way. It actually held up really well. Now you look and you go, what happened to the tip? Well, the tip stuck in the concrete and it really embedded in the concrete. Now I didn't break it off when it hit. The tip stayed in there and the rest of the arrow bounced back. So the tip somehow got dislodged from the main body there. But the ferrule and the blades just barely touched the concrete, but they all held up very well. That ferrule is definitely reusable. The tip is not. However, it did its job in sticking in deep to the concrete. So what did you think of the RAD Madman? Man, I got to tell you, they exceeded my expectations. Now, my expectations were pretty low because I'd never really heard of them before, but they performed way better than I thought they would, especially when it comes to penetration. Man, they penetrated extremely well. So check out the score sheet and see the areas that matter to you the most and how these Madman heads did in that area. But definitely, these are worth a look. Great job, Rad.